Happy New Year, everyone. I got up kind of early today. I was super tired last night. I was able to stay up for the ball dropping at the East Coast. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. But I'm up, having a good time. Happy New Year. Hope everyone's having a great one. My New Year's going to be great. Check this out. Got something new and fun. Check it out. I got a 2020 Yamaha SMAX. This thing's kind of fun. This is a scooter. It's a 155cc, and I really got it to replace my Honda Grom. That's where it really gets funny, because the Honda Grom was this bike. It was going to be this bike. I wanted it to be. It was really snappy on the low end. It was really fun. I had a really good time with the Honda Grom, but the issue that I had with the Honda Grom was that it just didn't have enough power to get up any hills. Like I have one of my sisters lives up a pretty big hill over here, and climbing I was going 35 miles an hour on a 55 mile an hour road. This thing, it doesn't have that. I mean, 125cc versus 155cc. The difference is this 155cc engine produces 15 horsepower versus 9.7 horsepower. That's 55% difference. That's a massive difference. And that difference allows me to hit 55 to 60 miles an hour uphill. So I can maintain speed and not be dangerous on this thing. Whereas with the Grom, it could be dangerous. Now, some people love the CVT. Jury's still out on it for me. I love the fact that I have a front and rear brake on the handlebars. That's super nice. But in terms of the CVT, it's kind of doesn't feel really snappy on the bottom end, but it's really nice to have like unlimited gears essentially when you're cruising, because then it makes it so nice, especially with low horsepower. So I haven't even done really like a first impressions. I rode it home, and this thing had maybe 152 miles put on it in about 3 years. So the guy that rode it previously, it was just sitting. And the guy that rode it before that, he hadn't ridden it. Anyway, ended up buying it from this guy, and I had some issues with the title. He gave me a title that had like holes in it. It was really weird. But I talked to this guy a couple times. He seemed, I mean, he's just an older guy living. I knew where he lived. So it's like, okay, that's not a big deal. There was a lien. There was a lien on it, or there had been a lien on it, and then he had got the title, and it didn't look like it was the newest title, but he said that was the only title he had, so I took that title, brought it home. Turns out there was another title floating out there, and I reached back out to the guy, and we ended up doing a duplicate title on this thing, and I got it all figured out. It was registered in his name. He just lost the old title, but there was a little weirdness there, but we got it all figured out, and yeah, I've got a scooter now. The only types of bikes that I haven't owned is a scooter, so check that one, and then a super sport. And I've intentionally never purchased a super sport because I get really excited when, like, for instance, this guy right here, he likes to rev. He likes to rev really high, and I get really excited when bikes rev really high. I like to rev with them, so I get in trouble with this, and this thing has 25 horsepower. I can't imagine what it would be like to have 4 cylinders just like this one and have 600cc or 1000cc with, 80 to 120 horsepower. I don't think I'm that responsible, so I don't think I'll ever purchase a super sport. So you're asking, and I asked myself the same question, why not just stick with a Grom? The first big one was the power. It just wasn't powerful enough for me to do what I wanted it to do. And I didn't want to mod the crap out of it. I'd rather just sell it and get what I wanted. I'm not really a big mod guy. But I really like the low CC stuff. So the next step up is a 300cc, and that's a pretty big step. But with scooters, there's like 155s, there's 160s, there's 200s, there's 300s, there's 400s. They're all over the place in terms of what you can have. So I got essentially the lowest CC bike I could get for what I wanted to. And it's got disc brakes on front and rear. They're independent, no ABS, but that's okay. Should be really, really cool. The other reason was the exhaust. I don't like loud exhausts. I like sewing machine quiet exhaust. I love my 250 exhaust when I had like a CBR 250R. Love that thing. It was awesome, but you know, there's not a lot of power there. But I don't need, again, I don't need a whole ton of power. So the Grom didn't really satisfy in those two areas. That was the main reasons. I really like the clutch. And again, I'm not sure if the CVT is going to be awesome or going to be lame. Hopefully it's nice, but it's just something I need to get used to. I don't mind the clutch. A lot of people are so happy that they don't have to use the clutch anymore. I've been riding motorcycles for 21 years. I don't even think about using the clutch. It just happens. So that's not a big deal. And I kind of miss it when I ride because it's giving me something to do. I get a little bored and, you know, can do that. So we'll see how well this one keeps my attention. But if all goes well, this will be in my stable for a while. It's a really, really nice bike. Only 1,300 miles on it, and it's brand new, and it's awesome. So, yeah, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.